At Syracuse University, I'm the director of the Disability Cultural Center within the Intercultural Collective. My work in the DCC as the director is primarily focused on positive identity building. So we build a culture of positive framing around disability as diversity. One of the tasks that we like to tackle inside of our work in the DCC with students is to first get them to understand their own identity as a disabled student. And what does that look like moving from high school to college, and then navigating those terrains are sometimes figurative and also literal. And if you know anything about the campus here at Syracuse University, parts of it are very inaccessible for students, especially students who use wheelchairs or who have mobility issues that they are working with every day. What we hope to achieve in the next year is to get our arms around the struggles that individuals have so that we can, as a campus, improve the way our students move across campus on all of our systems of transportation, but also to their dorms back and forth. Because let's face it, in a city that is car dependent, it is beholden on us as the university to get them from point A to point B. And last year, the DCC surveyed our broader campus constituents, including students, and we asked them, what are some improvements we can make broadly to make your experience, your lived experience here while you're on campus better? And one of the number one things they asked for was to have better transportation, not only to and from their dorms, but also to major events that the Syracuse University is hosting, so games, concerts, but also to get out into the community. So going out to grocery stores, going out to areas of interest and places where they can gather with their friends to get to see more of the city. So we're hoping to really tackle those conversations and work with our transportation department to provide better inclusive access for everyone. By creating a very large community here on campus, a disability community, we create awareness for even our allies, and that's something that we work so hard in with the DCC as well. So when I talk about representation, we like to be involved in all facets of the university. And we do that every year through Disability Pride Week. This year we're looking to expand that back to Disability Pride Month. Other identities inside of the Intercultural Collective celebrate a whole month. Unfortunately, for Disability Pride Month, that's in the summer. So we chose a month here on campus where students are still present, and so we picked the spring. And we're hoping to expand from 1 week in April to an entire month. And we're looking to partner with more schools and colleges across the campus to engage in storytelling for disability. Historically, the Disability Student Union set up Orange Ability, which is an adaptive sporting event, and we work with Professor Seth Gittner in Newhouse to bring wheelchair basketball here on campus, as well as sled hockey. We're hoping to do wheelchair rugby. And what that does for students across campus is teach them about playing sports alongside of their friends. I think there's a misconception that you have to be a wheelchair user yourself in order to participate in adaptive sports, and that's not true. You can be an ally and play with your friends and have a really great time. One of the students who frequents the DCC has agreed to share his own experience about bullying on campus and in campus adjacent locations in order to educate his peers about the harmful impacts of bullying and discrimination against disabled students. And that's some next level bravery.
My experiences regarding my experiences on campus when it comes to how people perceive me with a disability. I mean, I've had people kind of saying to me that I look fucked up and ask me how much I had to drink. I've had officers ask me, you know, how much how much I had to drink, and of course I can't say like 5 or whatever because they'll take it literally. Those are a couple of comments that kind of stirred me the wrong way. Obviously, I think people have general kind of perceptions or assumptions about what disabled people can and cannot do. I've had people, when I was at the Alibaba food truck, I had someone who seemed nice. When I wasn't looking, he was making fun of how I was walking, which obviously kind of frustrated me, and someone ended up punching him and kind of sticking up for me, which I appreciated, but kind of the bullying aspect seems to be prevalent. Because of my lived experiences, I feel like the university does a good job in certain areas. I think transportation has been mostly reliable, although even coming from Kennedy Ice Pavilion back to my dorm, Del Plaine, like if I want the orange safe kind of driving home, you know, for them to give me a ride, they've declined my rides because apparently they don't do it until 3 a.m. and to use the buses. So that's been not very convenient. I mean, they have access queues, which I think is very helpful, especially for me, because when it becomes now, when it's 30 degrees and snowing, I don't want to be walking too much. And like, I need my exercise, but like, I'm not walking everywhere. And so I would say, kind of, I don't know exactly how you can fix that, but I feel like there's a fine line. I mean, I will say one other thing. I mean, I feel like I'm consistently, you know, having dinner alone most, like 98% of the time. I intentionally sit alone hoping that someone would like look over and see the kid, like, and see if someone's gonna like invite me over. Doesn't happen. I mean, I'm kind of used to the daily routine of like, you know, going to class, getting up, whatever, and working out if I can. And but it seems like it's a much more of a get your meals in, and but much of ideas about people with disabilities and how you're perceiving them. So I'll leave it at that. I think sled hockey has factored into my life in a great sense because, as I said kind of earlier, like, I'm not really doing much. So Seth Gittner, who's a professor for, you know, communications, he kind of, because he wants, like, you know, to do things, have adaptive like sports, and sled hockey was kind of the direction that it was something that I should do, but it wasn't really offered. And then this came along and I was doing it, and I think I got my stride now, and I did it at home for 1 or 2 times. I'm improving every day, but we're getting there, so I'm happy.